Whoa. First thing is first. He's being sponsored by fucking SALMARI.
Shout out SALMARI!
Shout out SALMARI. Cheers!
Cheers!
Shout out SALMARI. So, better get yours redder tonight than tomorrow. Ice cold at Bar 3, Rotterdam. Having said that, my guest this time around is Malice. She is a tattoo artist. Next to being a tattoo artist, she's also a very passionate music lover. You can ask her basically everything about punk rock and pop punk. Next to that, she is what we in the Netherlands call a gangmaker, which means somebody who builds the party, the go-to person for a good party. Every friend group has one, and I'm very honored to say that in my friend group, this is her. So she invited me over at Black and Gold Tattoo, where we were able to talk about nostalgia, good music, serial killers, and maybe even mushrooms. Anywho, for all you newbies who aren't familiar with the program, I put a link in the description talking about and explaining the rules for this game. And who knows, maybe consider subscribing and looking to all the other interesting interviews I was already able to have with several artists. So if you are ready, I am more than ready. Let's go. Hi. So now we're going to do something we never did before. We're going to talk in English for quite some time.
Yeah.
So, as I've been telling you, I've been using this first season to kind of get the ins and outs and kind of, I'm also learning.
Mm-hmm.
I've been advised by some people last time to do some things, and I got a small surprise for you.
Oh, no.
It's a positive to this.
Okay.
We're gonna make it a new tradition that I'm gonna start every conversation with a Melissa question.
Oh.
And a Melissa question means you are known as basically the queen and the empress of feel good and doing good things.
I see that as a compliment. Thank you.
I mean it as a compliment. So I'm gonna start with asking the Melissa question. The Melissa question is, what makes you happy more than anything else in this world?
Well, I think doing what I love to do most, my passion, tattooing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I like to hang out with friends and see people smile. So to make other people happy makes me happy. So, and beer. Yeah, that's also a thing.
Who's beer?
No, beer as in just a drink. Like,
like the drink beer.
As the drink beer. That is what's making me happy.
Maybe beer is a guy.
No.
Like just, beer, you know?
Yeah, just have fun. Yeah, I like to party. Yeah. No, but I think just tattooing and just making people smile and lifting up like their spirits, making them happy, I guess. So that's what's making me happy. Yeah.
And to unwind, what's your ritual at home to make yourself happy?
I love to hang out with my cats. I like to sleep a lot and just watch some Netflix and to be there with my cats in my pajamas and just chill with them. That makes me feel super comfortable, and that is what's making me happy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. And then before we start, could you tell me in short what your form of art is?
Well, I'm a tattooer.
Mm-hmm.
I like to paint. I like to draw. But yeah, mainly my thing is being a tattooer. So that's my creative side. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna let him rip.
God. Here we go.
We're starting with the Joker question, so you will have to do 3.
Oh no!
I didn't put it first, so I had no idea that it would be the first one.
Okay.
But if you had to participate in a karaoke night, which song would you choose to get the best through it?
As in that I have to make sure other people are singing along with me, or just the song that I like to do?
I don't know if you're I do know, but I have to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a person that is shy to do karaoke. But if you would be a person that's shy to do karaoke, I can imagine you would think, how can I get through this? How do I look the best? How do I...
I sing like, don't you want me, baby? Just go crazy. Like, I think that the thing with karaoke is that a lot of people are like super shy and they're like, okay, I don't know how to sing, I'm not good at it. But that doesn't matter with karaoke. That's the best thing about karaoke is it doesn't matter if you're good or bad.
Yeah.
Like, just make sure people are having a good time. So yeah, I would choose like a random song or like a Whitney Houston or just go crazy, and just scream out your lungs. It's fine if you're bad. That makes it even better. I think people that are doing karaoke and that are actually very bad vocalists
Mm-hmm.
are the most entertaining people ever instead of going there and being a great singer and doing your thing. So yeah, I would recommend like a song that's very difficult to sing. Just do it. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this is touching me on my soul thing. It has to be
Yeah.
a power dower.
Well, I mean, Welcome to the Black Parade touches all of our souls. So that's also a good song to do. Like, so either maybe an emo song or a song that's very difficult to sing.
Yeah.
That's what I would pick. Because, yeah, people always feel uncomfortable doing karaoke if they know that they're not good at it. But just do it. You're there for the fun, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad first one, right? Tell me about your very first memories of music. Did you grow up in a musical environment? Did your parents have a strong musical taste, or did you have to discover music on your own?
So I grew up in a family with a few musicians. My dad was a musician, my grandfather, my brother, my uncle. So I grew up with a lot of music all the time. So I was always kind of inspired by them. I like to sing, but my brother's a drummer. My dad could play different kind of stuff. Yeah, like he could play piano or like drum a little bit, or like, but he preferred the guitar. And my grandfather as well, and my uncle was also, or still is, a drummer. And yeah, there was always music playing around like in our house, so it was never quiet. So sometimes I catch myself when I'm at home, I can never stand the silence. So I always play a record or something, like a white noise in the background. But yeah, we grew up in a family where, yeah, music was very important for us, for sure.
And was there also room to develop your own musical taste, or was there also a lot of pressure from your dad and from your brother, or?
No, like we could listen to whatever we liked. I mean, my sister is, for instance, a big fan of rap music or more hip hop. My brother likes punk, so for us it was kind of a mixture in between everything. And my dad liked classic rock, of course. So yeah, it was like everything all together. And sometimes I hate it when people ask you like, what kind of music do you like? Like, oh, I can listen to anything. But that is always my answer because I grew up around everything. So yeah, for me that was yeah, I just love music. Yeah, but I grew up with it. Yeah.
Cool. And is it because you say your dad liked classical music a lot, were you guys as his kids able to give him stuff back that he didn't know that he was or was he somebody who was very locked on his taste?
No, he liked all kinds of music. I mean, he didn't prefer like hip hop or whatever, but I remember when I was young that he was a music teacher at a school, and then he used to come up to me and he was like, when you have the top 40 music here, he's like, okay, I have to know what you guys think is cool nowadays. Like he would ask me for stuff like, okay, what do you guys think that I could use for the students to use? So I would be like, oh, I have this random playlist with LimeWire, like, oh, these are my downloads. And then he would like put it on a CD and he would be like, the kids really liked it. So yeah, we kind of interacted with that. So that was pretty cool. He
That's
asked me about that.
Do you
yeah.
remember any of the songs that you would recommend?
No, nothing that I can recommend. No. We're not gonna go that way. We're talking about like Caliber and like stuff
Yeah,
like
but that's that time, right?
that was the kind of music that he was looking for. But yeah,
Caliber, wow. That's a long time
yeah,
ago.
it's a long time ago.
You know the reason that those guys are dying now, and then you hear on the news that they're dying. Like last time I heard that Def Rhymes.
Yeah.
But it opens this door in your head.
For sure.
Remember that?
Yeah, for sure. But I have to say, because now that we're talking about, I'm thinking of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember listening to that kind of music, and that's kind of my guilty pleasure, even nowadays. And you cannot tell me that this is wrong, but I can say for sure that a lot of people that grew up with that kind of music, even if you put on those songs from back in the days, I'm still gonna be in the club and be like, like
and you recognize each other.
You recognize each other, like you were there. Yeah, for sure.
I had this super weird moment last time, and I'm trying my best to not sound like a creep.
Yeah.
Please take it the way that I'm saying it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember like back in the day when Avril just came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was 13 and she was 17.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first videos came out, and then you saw the first promotional videos. And she was 17, and of course, like all of us were super in love with her.
Yeah.
Because she was the first step into alternative music for most of my generation.
Mm-hmm.
Super cute. And if you're 13 and she's 17, she already looks 10 years older than you. If you're a dude,
yeah,
so that makes her super interesting.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this one clip. I think she's a guest on a radio show, and she sings "Complicated."
Oh yeah.
Why had to go make things so complicated?
Mm-hmm.
And she looks super cute there, and I remember that when I would look at that on my Pentium 2 computer, which could hold free clips, it was one of those free clips, and I would just rewind, because I was so in love with it.
Yeah.
So I forgot about that, and like 3 months ago, as a reel, this same video came by, but this exact moment, I think this was a reel of 10 seconds, and it was an exact moment that she made that face that always made me bubbly inside,
What was his face?
I don't know.
Was she smiling or like?
No, it's just that she how do you say it in English? She's taking a breath, so she can come in hard.
Yeah.
Tell me who I am. And while she makes that, there's just something very attractive.
Kind of like a frowny face. Yeah.
And she just had that. And the weird thing was, the reel came by.
Yeah.
And while I looked at it, that same feeling of being in love came back. Because it's the door in your head that's being called back. You didn't look at this for 25 years. Yeah. And now suddenly it's there. And then I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm 34. She's 17.
Yeah.
And after 2 seconds, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it was a nostalgia thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. But she also didn't age at all. It's crazy. I don't know if you have seen some of her videos lately, like that, where she's like still performing and whatever. And man, I feel so old, and she didn't age at all.
I think because there's
crazy.
I know, but there's this theory that she died.
That she's Melissa. That's her replacement. Yeah.
But you see, like between I think when she came out until 2005, and then suddenly, I guess she just grew up.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree that those first 3 years she looks a certain way, and suddenly she looks totally different. Not totally, but kind of different.
Yeah.
And she still looks the same way as she did.
Yeah.
Since 2005, I would say.
Yeah. I still love her music, and it's crazy. Like, she's still on my bucket list also to see live once. I never seen her live.
Actually, same here.
We should go.
we should absolutely go. But I have her first album, Let Go, on vinyl, and I had it 3 times now, and mostly it's like when people go through my collection, and I'm like, fuck you. It's a really good album.
Was it Under My Skin came after that one then? Was Let Go the first one then?
But I think so.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
I think so because I already kind of I moved away from her music. I think already after the first single of the second album.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that one that she with the red cross in it?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great album though. Yeah, super cool.
I agree. It's still, but that first one still holds. Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you have band shirts, and can you still remember the first one you ever had?
Actually, I do remember my first band shirt. It was Direct.
Yeah.
So don't mock me.
I'm not mocking you.
Okay. So this is actually, it's a weird story, but okay. So I was a huge fan of, well, I still love Direct, but I love their old music.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was I told my dad, I was like, I really want to see them live. It was also my first concert I went to.
Mm-hmm.
It was the All Systems Go tour, if I'm correct, in Paard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I went there and
with Tim.
Yeah. And it was like I told my dad, I was like, oh my god, I'm such a fan. I really want to go. And my dad hated their music, really. And he was like, well, okay, I'm gonna go with you. I think I was like super, super tiny.
Yeah.
And I went there and the shirt was way too big for me. But yeah, I got it. But I think unfortunately when I moved, I lost it somewhere, so I don't have it anymore. But yeah, Direct was my first show that I saw, my first band shirt. But now I have to put more shit on Vinted because I have so many band shirts. It's crazy. I could start my own merchandise line. Like I always wear band shirts. It's crazy. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one right now? If you had to choose, which one would you keep?
I think Turnstile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me be myself. Thank you for letting me see myself. I really like the one, or the story so far, long sleeve, I think. What about you?
My favorite, you have to.
Oh, sorry. Then I'm asking you. Now I'm pulling the card.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, yeah.
Okay.
So this one is for you.
So do I have band shirts? Yeah, and I will until I die, because I think I owe music a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be very hypocritical if I would be like, I'm too old for band shirts. No, man. If you owe something to some, then be solid.
Yeah.
My first one. That's complicated because my mom was pretty controlling.
Yeah.
And she tried to keep me from wearing band shirts for a long time because I don't think she liked me being individual about things. Also has a lot to do with the culture where she came from, but schwa. Because I remember that the first I wanted to buy was Rammstein.
That's a good one to start with.
Yeah. Thank you. I was 12 and it said on the back, it says, Den du bist, was du isst, which means because it was Mindhunter just came out and that's about a cannibal, and it literally translates to you are what you eat. And she forbid me to buy it because she was afraid that people would think that I'm a Nazi.
Yeah.
So for that, I was like, I already wanted to rebel, but I was like, okay, I kind of get that. But the shitty thing was like, if you're 12 and your parents don't want to support you on this, you don't have shit money. So I think I took a job I think I bought my first band shirt for my first job at the supermarket when I was 13. And I'm not sure if it was either Slipknot or Moonspell.
But then also, Slipknot is also not like the type of merchandise you want your kids to wear. I mean, we wouldn't care, but like...
No, I would be proud,
yeah, right? But like, I can understand that parents are like, oh, you want to walk around.
I did have it because I was in a Christian secondary school. And they came to me and they literally said to me like, either you put it off or you go home. And I already started laughing. I was like, well, that's not a hard question. And I just literally walked out. And I knew that they would call my mom and my mom would go apeshit. And I was just sitting in the subway like, I don't care. You're asking for it. Did you ever have shit for wearing band shirts anywhere?
Besides calling me an emo, not really. Like... My Chemical Romance kind of merchandise or whatever, or even with Misfits. I mean, people that don't know that kind of music, if you walk across the street, like if you know how people can be. You know, they're just like, oh, you fucking emo. Da, da, da. Like, I don't really care, but not specifically. Well, maybe people that look weird to me when I wear ghost merchandise, because it's also not really, how can you say that, proper maybe to wear sometimes. Or same thing with Slipknot as well. I have this Slipknot sweater, Christmas sweater, and you see like all these weird signs on it, and I think if people see me walking around in that, they're not saying anything to me, but I can tell that they're looking and they're like, okay. Maybe it's kind of like devilish or whatever, but nah. No, not really anymore. No. So nowadays I don't care anymore. No.
I think it's also, but personally, I think it's really good for your education. I went to Boy Scouts from a very early age, and we had the older guys were already wearing shirts. And I remember, and they looked like adults to you, but I think they were 14 or 15. And one had I'll never forget that, had a shirt from Dimmu Borgir.
Oh yeah.
And it said fucked by Jesus, fingered by God or something. And then a cross in the form of a dildo on the back. And I remember looking at it, I think I was 7 or 8, and I went to one of the leaders and asked him to explain me, like, what does this mean? And I never forget the face on this dude, like, he so did not want to, but he was
kind of had to.
But he was also the kind of dude that he was really there for the kids, and he didn't want to tell any of the kids that they weren't allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
So he should have went to him and say, hey, can you stop wearing that stuff? But he didn't want to, and I remember that already clicked in my head, like, okay, so you can make fun of the church if you want to.
Yeah.
And yeah, in that sense, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's funny.
Cool. How do you stay motivated and passionate about the work you do?
Wow. Well, I'm surrounded by a lot of creative people. So every time that I'm kind of slacking, I can notice like my coworkers are like telling me like, hey, maybe we should paint together or draw together, or I'm trying to surround myself more with people to stay creative, but sometimes it's difficult. I mean, you must understand that also as a musician, it's like sometimes you have like a certain moment where you're not as creative as you want to be. So then for me it helps to go to other people that are creative, so you feel not like forced, but because you're surrounded by people that are super creative. Let's say they're all painting together and I'm the only person that's not painting, and I'm like, and I have to like get my shit together and also be more creative. So I think surrounding myself with other people that are creative, I think that helps best for me. Yeah.
So would that mean that you would creatively suffocate if you would have to do everything on your own?
That's a good question. Well, I think so. I'm not a lazy person, but for me, I'm not my own biggest support in the way that I mean, if I have an option where, let's say it's my day off and it's like, okay, I can make a painting, I can watch Netflix, and I'm like, I don't want to chill in my pajamas and watch Netflix. So I have to be more supportive of myself, though, to be more creative and stimulate myself more. But yeah, I tend to be lazy sometimes. I can say that about myself. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult for me to stay creative as well, because sometimes I want to, but it's just not happening. There's something in my head, but I cannot put it on paper. So sometimes that's difficult. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
De volgende vraag.
Next question. Vinyl, cassette, CD, or streaming?
I'm a person that is always streaming music. I love vinyls. I do have a bunch of CDs though. Cassettes I grew up with them, but yeah, I prefer streaming. But I do feel like if I listen to vinyls, you have the same thing with a CD. do you remember going to like a free record shop and then you would like you had luisterfile, so you could go there and you had like a new album and then you could listen to like only 10 seconds of a song, you know, and then you would actually listen to the whole album. And nowadays I feel like when you're streaming music, it's like, I don't like it. You know, you can skip easier. And with vinyl, I like that you're still listening to the whole record.
Yeah.
Though, yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to, but I think you really listen to music more if you do that instead of like skipping everything if you just don't like the beat or the lyrics or whatever, you know. So I prefer that though.
We're getting so spoiled.
I know.
I have to. I also have to think that I have to train myself to be dedicated to listen to a whole song. It's so easy when the nicest breakdown was already there. It's so easy to, even if I'm driving, to kind of just click and okay, that nice breakdown. I want to hear what's coming next. Then I have to say to myself, no.
Yeah.
Be a ninja. Come on.
yeah. You kind of have to like. Also, I think, but that's a whole different story. But nowadays, anyways, we're so spoiled in having a short. How do you say that? Like a short time of attention for something.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like, I don't like it, next thing, you know. So yeah, I think we should teach ourselves more to be more patient and really listen to the song, because sometimes if I would dislike a song and I would listen to it later and then again and again, then I'm like, oh, I actually like this song, but yeah, I just never really listened to it. So yeah, that's a thing, I guess.
Yeah, I found a PlayStation 2 on the street last week.
No way.
I did, and I connected it, and I bought a new controller, and I opened it, and I fixed it and everything. But that what I do, and what I like about it is that
Tony Hawk.
That's for sure. It's a Tony Hawk Game 2. Yeah. But I forgot how much patience you need to have for everything. Because you don't realize that with the new consoles, but it loads with every level. Sometimes you remember the beginning of the PlayStation, especially the 1 and 2. First you see that opening screen, and you could, the way the sound it was making, you knew if it was gonna crash or not.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
And while I was playing, like I actually appreciated that I had to be patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it felt like I had to do a little bit of effort to get to the game.
You remember to always like press a button like, yeah, okay, I know it now. Like you kept on pressing the buttons in the hope of going faster and faster, but it's not gonna do anything for you, but you're like, yeah, I remember
and you just tell yourself, if I just press it harder, it will go. It just didn't.
It didn't at all. No, unfortunately. Nope.
Do you have a nice anecdote or otherwise a story that is circulating in your scene?
In my scene, in a way of?
Is something that happened maybe in your case, like while tattooing, or a story from somebody else?
That has to do with me, like a certain song that meant something to
No. Just a funny anecdote that happened at work while doing your art.
Yeah, but I can't say that. No. That's, I had like a...
or maybe a rumor that you heard from somebody else asking for a friend. You don't have to if you're like, I want to be...
Well, yeah. I mean, I know certain stories, but I can't share them. But I have some funny stories, but I'm not going to share them with you. I'm sorry.
Okay, and outside your art, like, is there anything that ever happened to you that was hilarious or worth telling?
What's funny? I can't think of anything. I don't know.
You can, if you want, save it for later on in the conversation.
Yeah, maybe I'll think about it. Yeah, because for now I really can't think about anything.
Okay, we'll keep it in the fridge for now.
Okay, yeah.
If even at the end you're not able to, then we can write it in the description if you come up with something.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. Quentin Tarantino, Woody Allen, or Martin Scorsese?
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Oh, por favor, why?
His movies are amazing. I have this huge DVD box with almost, well, not all of his movies, but like a lot of them. I love the way that it's bloody, it's crazy, and he still gets better every movie that he makes. I really, really love his movies. It's like also the actors that he picks. I think he's very how do you say that? Personally involved in picking people for certain characters in his movies. So for sure, Quentin Tarantino.
And what's his best movie, in your opinion?
Well, I'm gonna go for not Pulp Fiction. I'm gonna go for Kill Bill. I think. Yes, sorry.
But why?
I just love the whole. I don't know, like the way he set this whole movie up was like it's just crazy. Like his movies I think are like weird but still sexy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of sexy but weird and like bloody. It's gory. It goes all over the place. If you watch a Quentin Tarantino movie, you're going through all the stages of everything. You know, all the emotions. And I just thought that yeah, that was his best movie. But Reservoir Dogs is also one of my faves because I love that one as well. But I would go for Kill Bill. Yeah.
And best scene?
What's her name again? The girl with the
Go, you body.
yeah. I would actually maybe she's good to be a character for Halloween. Maybe.
Wow,
yeah, that'd be cool.
With the spiky ball in the neck.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah.
The school girl. Yeah.
For sure. But that's actually a great idea. I love her. But also, when she dies, it's also like with the blood from her eyes and everything. It's like it's so how do you say it? Theatrical? Yeah. So cool. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And we can definitely agree on that one. Absolutely agree on that one. Ooh, this is an intense one.
Oh.
If you had to name a top 3 of musical, artistical, or cultural leaders that you have personally had in your life, who would you name? Think of, for example, literally art or music teachers, colleagues, passersby, or anyone who made a lasting impression on you. Who has shaped you the most?
Does it have to be a famous person or somebody close, or both?
Whoever you think are in the top 3. Doesn't matter who. It's up to you.
Who shaped me as I am right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think, well, first of all, I would say my dad, because he was always so passionate about music, and even though I don't do anything with music, he was so passionate about that. Like it was crazy. I love watching people doing something that they're passionate about. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but if you're doing that, even if you suck at it, but you're doing it and you can tell that they have so much love for it. I just love to see that. So, but my dad was actually a really good musician, so I love seeing both of those sides. But he did everything to teach kids everything about music, and he was so talented. So he would be my number one for sure. Besides that, I think I would say Errol. Errol got me into tattooing and taught me.
From day one.
Well, not from day one. I started somewhere else, but eventually I ended up at institution with Errol, and then he taught me a lot about tattooing and actually gave me an apprenticeship there and properly taught me everything to become like a good tattooer. So I would say him, and then eventually I think it's maybe weird to say, but I think my best friend Rosa is somebody. She does photography a lot, and she never stopped chasing her dream to become a good photographer. And she works a lot, and I think that she also taught me a lot about. Sometimes we would call each other and be like, "Oh, why are we still doing this if you don't earn enough money? Even if you're, like a musician or whatever, like
Struggle.
or you have the financial struggle sometimes for being an artist, let's say. And we would still pick each other up, but she was also somebody that always kept on going, and I always admired that a lot about her. So I think that is, also a big inspiration for me. But I'm gonna ask you the same.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, because I want to know.
That's me now, by the way. So you still have one.
Hey, but I still want to know because I'm curious.
I literally thought when I was making this game that might be the hardest one to answer. Personally.
But we could name so many, because this is just only like this. But I could name so many people that inspire me.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have to ask for a top 3, then
in a lifetime, I give myself the space to put my sister and Blink 182 as a whole in one as one choice, because my sister is about 7 years older than me, and she saw my struggles at home. And she knew, I think already when I was 11 or 12, like, you have to give this kid CDs, and that's the best thing he can go on. And she gave me the Untitled album. The first I ever bought myself was the Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and she bought me the Untitled album when it came out at Christmas 2003, and because of that I know Blink, and so much of what happened in my life has something that I can connect back to Blink. So that whole step I would do as a
So you would consider yourself a Blink fan?
Does the Pope bang underage children? Does a bear shit in the woods?
I was just wondering, I don't know. I don't know you, so... I mean, I don't know. I don't know you. Like, it's the first time we met, so...
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that's one. That's easy. But that's hard. I try to, because I asked this to different people, and everybody takes a different angle, but you have to choose what's...
I didn't even think about music. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, but on the other hand, like, is that the most important thing when it comes to those persons? Like, what would you want to keep, Rosa or music?
Rosa.
Yeah, so you choose right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so, but it's also about influence.
Yeah.
Like, I love my friends and I love my partner, but who went the furthest with influence? I have to come up with an answer fast now.
You see, it ain't that easy.
No, it's absolutely not easy. This is mean. And I'm sure I have beautiful answers, but you blank at a moment like this. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna answer in this clip.
Okay, and later on. Okay.
Cool. So I have 2 more that I have to answer.
Okay.
I'll think about it in between. Does money play an important role in your work as an artist, or is just creating something that gives you personal satisfaction?
Well, I mean, I think it's the satisfaction of making somebody happy. I really love to see people walk out this door with a tattoo that they love, or even makes them emotional, and that's worth more than money, of course. So yeah, I mean, money is important for everybody, I think, because that makes the world go round, unfortunately. But no, I would rather see people also being super happy when they walk out of this door and still look at their tattoos, and they can look at it every day and be like, okay, I'm more self-confident, or, happy with that. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. That's what's most important, I think.
But you do need it to keep the whole thing.
Of course, we all need that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But I really love to see, even when people get super emotional, for instance, if they're grieving about somebody and I do a memorial tattoo or whatever, and I see them looking in the mirror and be happy about getting that tattoo and having that memory on their skin forever means a lot to me. But also, if I get something funny tattooed on somebody and they're like, oh yeah, I can look at it, oh, remember when we did this or that or blah blah blah. Like everything has a story, right? So I'm happy with anything. Like if I can make people happy, then I did my job well. That's what I think.
So you had times too that because it can be the same thing with music. Like one time I had to play a show for parents that lost their kids.
Yeah.
And I had to, but this also means like most of the time it can be a fun day out for people to get inked. But sometimes it's also literally like a grieving process. Like I'm doing this because yeah. So there's you had beautiful cases of that too.
Yeah, for people who may have lost a family member or their child, or a friend, whatever, and then I can give them something just to give them a good reminder of that they still have a piece of that person on their body, on their skin. So yeah.
And do they talk?
It depends. Mostly they do. If they're grieving about something, usually they do, because I also feel like part of tattooing is also sometimes asking people like, hey, okay, so what can I do for you? And then they usually come up with a story. And if you're telling me, okay, this is from let's say a relative that passed away, blah, 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 and they want something in their handwriting, let's say something. As soon as I'm tattooing them, I'm like, okay, so who was this person? Or like, what happened? Or do you want to talk about it? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just cry. Sometimes they smile. And sometimes they feel like it's what I usually hear. It's kind of a therapy for them. So I tattoo them, and then they just feel very happy that I can help them in this type of way. But I feel it's also part of the grieving process. So yeah, that's very thankful about the job that I'm doing. Is I'm happy that I can help people. Yeah,
that's beautiful. And while we are on the subject, like talking to customers like that, so the because it sounds like you have a way of when customers come up to you that you start to fish. So where are we going here? What do you want? You also have to be formal. Like, is this something you need to have a talent for? Is this something you need to develop from the beginning?
No, I think it's just the way that you are. I mean, there are people that come in. I feel like it's the way you're screening somebody. So if somebody walks in and I don't know you, for instance, and you come in and you come up with your own story, I'll listen to you and I'll talk to you. Some people come in and they're actually pretty quiet, and I'm trying to talk to them to kind of see at what kind of level they are. But if they're just like, yeah, no, then I'm like, okay, I notice that you are just here for your tattoo, then that's fine too.
Yeah.
It's fine with me too. But usually, and I'm happy with that, they say that you attract the type of customers as the way you are yourself. I have a lot of chatty customers, so they come up to me and they're like, like they're all over the place. So usually I just talk a lot. Yeah. With my customers.
Do you make friends with customers, or is it a very personal? Is it a very formal thing to you?
No, I like to hang out with my customers. Yeah, but for me, but there's like a difference though, because I did notice that usually my coworker always tells me I can never tell if they're your friends or your customers, which is a good sign, I think. But if you're my customer, still business is business.
Yeah.
So if I know you, it's not going to be like, oh, I'm not now going to tattoo you for free,
Yeah.
Business is business.
Sure.
So within these walls, I can like just tattoo you. We can fix everything. But after that, we can grab a beer somewhere. Like it's fine with me, but I don't want to split it up too much. But there are a few customers, not every customer, but a few customers that became my friends, and I'm super happy with them. Yeah. I like to gain more people. I like being around people, but
cool.
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
Cool. I'm having a good time. You having a good time?
I'm having a good time. Yeah.
Cool. Before I go, I already have a number 2 while we were talking about it. Puppy.
Oh yeah.
But I have to be. I'm already talking about her every episode, so I have to.
Don't cry.
No, I'm not crying. I'm not crying.
Stop crying.
She's worth every.
Or else you're gonna make me cry.
No. Okay, she's worth every tear. But I should look out that I'm not talking about her every. But it's relevant for the question now, so fuck it.
She was amazing, man.
She was, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Can I curse? Is that okay?
You have to, yeah.
Okay, she was fucking beautiful, man. She was amazing. Yeah. So don't cry.
No. But since it's part of the question, why was she so influential?
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen somebody in my whole life that was able to love so fully and unconditionally and so openly. Like I can seriously say I never saw her grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm sure her most loved ones maybe saw it, but I always said to everybody, like, she had the ability to make you feel like you were the most important person ever, and she wasn't bullshitting you.
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember, because I wasn't as close with her as you guys were, but I'll never forget one time at Baruch Open Air, I was there, and I was just walking around, and she came walking up to me. She didn't even know, like, she saw me a few times, like, also at the Baruch, but she walked up to me, and she was like, "Hey, darling, you're so beautiful. Did you realize that today?" And I was like, I needed to fucking hear that because I was just minding my own business, and she was just like, "You know how fucking beautiful you are? You look so good, girl." Yeah, keep on saying. I was like, "Oh my god, like, you were so cute." Yeah, she.
Damn.
Yeah, like, oh man. She was fucking amazing, yeah.
And it's not that she needed that because she needed the attention. But
No.
everybody, she could have got attention from anybody. Yeah.
But she really wanted to say that to you because she means it, you know, yeah.
But even though, she could use it like she meant it.
Yeah. She was adorable, man.
Yeah.
Puppy.
I have to stop here because I'll.
Then we're gonna cry together. This is gonna be a cry podcast.
A cry and it's gonna be 6 hours.
But shout out to Cookie. Yeah,
it's just good to feel her for just a minute. But are there any artists whose posters you had or have on the wall?
I think Avril Lavigne that I had. I wasn't the type of person that would put I remember the hit cons back in the days, and then you had some posters, but I think it was nothing. I wasn't the type of person that had the whole wall filled up with posters of bands. But I think if I had maybe like Avril Lavigne or something, but I can't remember if I had any really big bands hanging up there. Maybe Green Day could be something like that. I don't know. No.
Okay. But at least Avril Lavigne, you know.
I think I remember that I had an Avril Lavigne poster, and I still have it nowadays, and I cannot say it anymore because he got cancelled. But I have a huge flag of Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And I remember putting it up on my wall, and my mom hated me for it. She was like, it's like where you see his face with makeup, and like it's a disgusting flag, you know.
But did that make it more interesting for you to do it anyway? I had that with my parents. Like, I loved it when they hated it. I was like, okay, so I'm doing something good here.
Well, you know, I mean, I felt like, I don't know, like I just really liked the poster. That was it. So and actually, I think Rosa got it for me, and I put it at my wall. My mom really hated it, and she was like, "Are you really gonna like take the thing off one day?" Or
I can't even.
Nah. And I still have it though. Maybe I still have to put it up, but he got canceled, so I cannot say anything about it. But yeah, that's the only thing I remember. But I wasn't. Were you the type of person who had a lot of posters?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, flyers, stickers, posters, everything. Absolutely, yeah. But also I had a Boy, by the way, too.
Mm-hmm.
We were shout out Boy. Je weet zelf kou voor jou. Ik ben wel heel lelijk.
Love you, Boy.
we were neighbor kids, and he had the coolest posters too. We had Bad Religion,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
cross and everything.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
yeah, the worse the better. Yeah,
Mhm.
the sick ones. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But did you, and you're getting that one for free, but don't do that again, okay? Next time you gotta pay.
Sorry.
But anyway.
We're just talking.
We're just talking. It's a small one. It's a
Okay.
small one. But you say I wasn't that much of posters, but what would your room look like when you were a kid? Was it important to you that it represented you, or was it just like this is my cave that I sleep in and the rest is not that important?
No, I did really care about it. I had a nice bedroom, but one of my friends, Kimmy, who's also now became a tattooer, she was Kimmy. She made actually
Kimmy from Black?
Kimmy from Black.
Oh wow!
She made a wall painting because I asked my mom.
Yeah.
I want to make a painting here, and she was like, just do whatever. You know, my mom was sick of it.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, Mom, can I do this or that or da da da? And then I asked Kimmy about it, and Kimmy told me, she was like, okay, yeah, I can do it. So still, nowadays, it's still on my wall in my old bedroom. So when I go to my mom's house, I still go back to my bedroom and I still look at everything, and I'm like, damn.
Did your mom keep your bedroom the way it is?
Well, not the way it was, because sometimes, okay, I'm super nostalgic, okay? I love to have a sleepover at my mom's place. You know, when you go to your parents' house or family's house, and every house has a certain kind of smell.
Uh-huh.
And when I walk into my mom's house, it's like, it just still smells the same. And I'm like, ugh. So I love going there and sometimes sleep over for one night on an air mattress. And I just like to be there. And then I'm in my
Soak
old
up the
room.
atmosphere.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my God, like I'm feeling like I'm 12 years old again, you know? It's like, oh my God, I was like a kid. Like everything happened there because I feel like during your puberty, like those are the biggest changes in your life that you're going through, right? And
Most intense period.
you know, times of MSN and like webcam and whatever, you know, it was crazy. Like, so it's very nostalgic for me to go there. But she doesn't have, she made it like into a storage. So there are like photo albums and whatever are there. But yeah, I sometimes go there and I lay on my air mattress and I'm like, I look at my old like walls and I'm like, so great. I feel like 12 again, you know. I know I look 12, but I feel 12 again. So, yeah. That's what I like though.
Okay, cool. I have the third one so I can close my question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a long story even longer. My brother, for all the obvious reasons, but also I am very for normalizing the use of mushrooms.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that the last 5 years there's been a lot of development in that. Also for against PTSD and for against illness, it turns out that it's actually, which I've been knowing for the last 20 years, very good. I think when we were 17, they were still legal in the Netherlands. You can just go to the Lachende Paus, which is you know the Lachende Paus?
I know.
It was this beautiful shop that looked like a cave and black lights and everything. And we got our first set of mushrooms, and we had the courage to do that. Funny story. We were with 4 friends, and we just SMS'd each other. Let's do something weird tonight. And then we went for the mushrooms, and we stood there. We're like, where are we going to do these things? Because nobody's parents were supposed to know what we were doing. So we thought, we'll just go to the tunnel under Zuidplein and just do it there because that made total sense.
Yeah.
And we did it there, and I'll never forget that. So we were in the tunnel, and there were like these 2 police buses closing us in, and we just ate them. And because you are like, you feel nervous because these guys are walking at you, so it makes it kick in.
Yeah.
And we had no idea what these things would do. Like, remember, like, internet wasn't that normal yet. None of us ever did mushrooms. One of us just heard you could get them, and we just went for it. We had no idea what was going to happen. So one of us also had a bottle of wine, and that's why they came. But we didn't know that. We thought that they were just going to nag about that we were using. So they were standing there. And while the policeman was talking at me, I started tripping for the first time in my life. So his boss behind him started smiling and nudging at me, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? We were looking at, and I looked at my brother, and I saw him, and I said, while the dude was talking, I was like, like his boss winking at us. He was like, yeah, dude. While the police dude was talking at us. And I was 17 and he was 16 and we were just standing there, what are we doing here? So while he was talking everything and he said, you know what you did, right? And I'm like, do I? I don't know. Tell me, man, what am I doing? So I literally at one point I said like, why are you mad at us? Like, just whatever you want, just do it now. Like, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. And he said, you know, Daryl, you know that you were drinking wine, don't you? You're like, yes, I'm also drinking wine. Come just give me this. So the funny thing was like and I walked out and don't tell me how it was a miracle. My sister lived in the house that I used to live in Goedestraat. And my sister was standing there waiting for us. And she took us, thank God, she took us in the house. And it was the most hilarious night of my entire, because everything, at one point, Malice, I'm sorry to make this all about me, but I'm so sorry. We were sitting on the couch, and at one point, somebody was sitting beside her. You didn't even know what's coming. You picture me in the bus. And like busting out against town. And I was like, not now, but I'm 17 and I'm high. Leave me alone. Oh, my cheeks hurt. We came at my sister's house. Somebody was having a lighter in their hands, and then somebody else looked at the lighter and said, "Do we have any idea who invented the lighter?" And then we came up with this whole fictional story that somewhere in China there's a dude that hangs out in the closet of his mom, and he makes those things. And while we were talking about that, like, you know, like when somebody makes the first sentence of a story and then the next one, and everybody just took it on them to come with a new sentence. Yeah, and this one day he got arrested, and they threw him on the hood of the car, and you have this newspaper saying we got him, and you see this dude with a lighter on, and you just get crazy creative because of it. It was such a funny thing. But anyway, my brother. Let's get back. Yeah. Let's get back. My brother, because it helped us to get over.
It helped us to take mushrooms.
Mushrooms. It helped us to get over a lot of our childhood trauma, because it also kind of lifts you above everything you're doing and just look at what happened in your life. And I'm so thankful for him that he did that with me, and we still do it one time a year.
Yeah.
Just for all the obvious reasons, but also for him to do that with me, because it also helped me to kind of be my own person and see my own faults, I guess. So yeah, that's just sorry. I just keep yapping.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I answered the question now.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What has been the biggest disappointment in your art? For instance, the worst customer, the worst bad luck you ever had doing your work, or?
Well, I think the worst part is also the best part is not reaching the perfect level of your art. Like, you can always do better.
Yeah.
So sometimes I can do a tattoo, and after that I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm happy with it. And the customer walks out. I was just talking with my customer today about it. It's like, I can take a look at the picture that I took of a tattoo, and I'm like, you're zooming in, and I'm like, maybe this isn't a good picture to post or whatever. It's not that I'm not happy about a tattoo, because I'm not going to let anyone walk out of the studio without giving them a good, proper tattoo, of course. But then maybe the picture sucked or whatever. Even if I'm looking at it a week later, I'm like, maybe I should have done this different or whatever, you know. but that also means growth. So I think if you stop looking at your artwork, if it's painting or a tattoo or music, whatever, as soon as you think this is perfect, this is perfect, this is perfect, you stop growing, you know. So I think growth is the biggest enemy, but also your best friend, I think.
But it can be hard to accept sometimes too.
Yeah, because sometimes, like I said, it's also difficult sometimes to have something in your mind and you just really want to, like, I have a certain idea, but maybe I cannot put it on paper. You know, sometimes it's so difficult because I know what I want to do and how I want to do it, but this isn't helping me, you know, and I'm like, you know, I'm making so many sketches and like, I've had times where I called or FaceTimed one of my friends that are also tattooers, and I'm like, I'm just gonna quit because I'm never gonna be ever good enough for anything, you know. And maybe the same thing with music. It's like sometimes you're like, I'm not creative enough, or you see other people and you're like, why the fuck is somebody making amazing artwork and it seems effortless, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's like I'm trying my best to do my best, but it's not always working in like the right. It's like not going in the right direction. So sometimes that's difficult. But I think that's the
process.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, nowadays I see it as a growth because even though it's not happening right now, I still have it in my mind. So maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow or the day after. But it's already here, so I can already, you know, eventually process it too. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a different day, maybe next week, maybe next month, but as long as it's still here, it'll be okay. Well,
cool.
Trying to see it positive, though. Always positive, so, yeah.
That's a good yin-yang twist to it, though.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think that, like I said, that's the best, but also the worst thing, I think, about any creative job you're doing. You know, you can always do better, so, yeah.
Now, with music, I have it too sometimes that sometimes most of the times I hear something in my mind, and then I'm gonna start translating it, and 9 out of 10 times it goes well, and sometimes for some reason I'm trying and it just doesn't sound anything like how I want it to sound.
Mm-hmm.
But you have that with drawing too, that you have this vision, and then because for me the weird thing is like, okay, I have this vision and I want to translate it into what I'm doing, and when it doesn't work, I'm gonna start to doubt myself, like, is this a thing that is just not I'm overestimating it and there's just no way to do this, or am I not good enough as an artist to make this happen?
I always feel like the last thing, like I said, like I've had multiple times where I was like, okay, I really should quit tattooing and fuck it all, you know, I can't do this.
Still
Nowadays, of course, there's so many good artists out there, of course, but the thing is that I keep telling myself that as long as I remember, I can do better because I know from perspective from myself, I know I can become better. Like I said, I'm lazy as well. I can become a way better artist if I would paint and draw every single day. You know, I draw every day, but I can also make more paintings or draw on skate decks, or, you know, I could do way more, you know. Now I'm working on like painting a table, you know, just to try something else, you know, like I'm trying to do more stuff to keep myself creative, but you're your own, like, you know, biggest support. So if I don't believe in that, it's never going to happen. But I know I can do better, and I know in a year, 2, 3, whatever, I hope until the day I die that I can still keep tattooing and being creative. So, but I'm my own biggest support. So I cannot say like.
But your own biggest critic too at the same time.
Sure, yeah. Of course, yeah. So that's, yeah, sometimes difficult, yeah. Yeah.
But it's also a stick behind the door that whenever it gets tough or intimidating, that you can always say to yourself, like, as long as I'm sure that I can do better if I want to, why shouldn't I?
And I have a lot of creative people around me that can help me because the team that I'm working with, for instance, and like the friends that I have that are also tattooing, if I can even like send them pictures like, okay, I made this painting, what do you think? Or I show my coworkers, okay, what do you think? They can always help me as well. So it's not like I'm doing this on my own. We're a team together, so that's what I also want to keep going, like to make sure I also ask them to be also my worst critic, because you can be honest to me and tell me, hey, Melissa, this tattoo or this painting or this drawing, like you have to do it differently. Then it's still a part of growth that I'm going through. So yeah, that's good.
Leveled.
Yep.
Very level answer.
Yep.
Impressive.
Thanks.
Can you name an artist who goes too far? And is there such a thing as going too far in art?
Too far. As in?
Whatever.
Well, Dave Grohl.
You went pretty far. Weird way when I
he was gonna
that's different. With Dave Grohl, like in a weird way, when I heard it, I was supposed like, well, and then I was like, on the other hand, it's such a Dave Grohl thing to do, actually. It's rock and roll.
It never make me read it.
I just imagine his face when he found out, like. He's known as the good guy from rock and roll, and then he does something like
He's so sweet. You can never make me hate you, Dave Grohl.
The most hilarious thing is that he answered to the media, like he said, I'm planning to be a loving and a nice father to it, and I'm planning to win back my wife's trust. And I was like, that's a heck of a two things to aspire at the same time.
No, besides that, no. But Dave Grohl went there. Oh, but still. Man. Nay. They can never make me hate him.
But he went too far, though.
He went too far. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. But, yeah, I know. Like, yeah. He is, I don't know. He went too far. Yeah. So... But besides that, I don't. I cannot ask it back. People who went too far. We're talking about music, right?
Yeah, you have one left if you want to save it.
No, I'm just gonna fire away. Is that okay?
I mean the asking you.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
Fire away.
That went too far at Metallica. You should have quit way long ago. Please. Stop making music. Nobody's asking for it.
That's literally going too far.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're done. You're done.
When were they done? Which album, in your opinion?
Any album. Sorry. Really, Metallica, here I said it, most overrated artist ever.
Not one good song.
Nay.
Nay.
Saying you know what it is? It's all the same song. Every song, but okay, people are always giving me shit for this. They can never make me like you, Metallica. I'm sorry. No, they have the worst drummer ever. They have the worst song. No, sorry.
That's your cup of tea.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so they went too far.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else who went too far in a certain way, or is that?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it like this.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
No.
We'll keep it simple.
Yeah, we'll keep it simple.
Which concert or artist from before your time you would most like to experience?
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah? Why Led Zeppelin?
My mom used to be a big Led Zeppelin fan. I really like Led Zeppelin. Well, yeah, I just like their music. I think it was very cool. And no jokes, and not many people know this, but I really like Michael Jackson. So I would have loved to see him live. That would be cool. That would be awesome to see him. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Do you think he went too far?
As in how he has been set up.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. This was a scam. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, he was kind of like cuckoo, but this ain't right. No. Or Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, okay,
Also.
yeah.
But like then you can go back like way back. But also, I don't know. Like I like artists in their prime time. So maybe in the early days, like Shaka Khan or whatever. Like a good also singer. I would like that too. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I would go for that. Can I put that one for you then
Yeah.
to ask? Because I'm also curious who's not here anymore.
Not here anymore. Ooh. Artist. It has to be an artist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Ben could also be. Yeah.
In his way, he was an artist. Terence McKenna. Look it up.
Okay.
Terence McKenna.
Okay.
He was. It also has a lot to do with. He was a philosopher. Yeah, how to describe Terence McKenna? He was a philosopher and basically the first spokesperson for mushrooms.
Okay, yeah.
But he also, his way of life and his way of thinking really changed a lot. And it maddens me. He died almost on my a day before my 10th birthday. And you know that it pisses you off that you used to share a planet with somebody, you didn't realize it until it was far too late. Then you really like somebody, him. But okay, musician.
Or Alice in Chains.
Yeah, Alice in Chains.
So smash.
Yeah.
Alice in Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that.
No, that's fine.
Alice in Chains. Yeah.
But is that? I'm not too familiar with. Like, is that impossible now?
Yeah, Lena, the vocalist, died on an OD. He was found, I think, a few days after he died. He was super junky.
When?
I think beginning of the 90s. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay,
not
long
sure,
time ago.
but a while ago, yeah.
Okay.
But it was like the grunge type, like also with Nirvana or whatever. Because people always say, "I want to see Nirvana live." Of course, I wanted to see them,
but nah.
but and I really bummed out. But Alice in Chains, oh yeah, I would love to see them though.
I would say, and I had the chance, and it really pissed me off, Prince.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really, because I think I got offered because the thing Prince used to do is like he would go to a big stadium in the Netherlands do a show, and he would always do after in Paard van Troje, Melkweg.
Oh yeah.
He just liked to do afters in small.
We're talking about Prince Harry, right?
I would do him, not see him, okay? But anyway, never change your after. But anyway, after boy. But anyway, I got offered a ticket for one of his afters.
Yeah.
And back then I only knew Prince from his two biggest hits. When Doves Cry, I was like, no man, he's weird. It's not my type of thing. And I was 18.
When Doves Cry is amazing.
It's amazing, but it's just it's the I wasn't ready yet, I guess, because he was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And then I realized when I started to learn myself to make music, everybody said if you want to learn Prince, and it turned out that this guy was such an insane genius. He had Paisley Park, which was his own studio complex, and when he died, they found like a cellar with 50,000 songs. He spent his whole life making.
No way.
I think he had 53 albums out when he died, and that was just the tip of the iceberg of what he did.
Crazy! I never knew this.
Just that I'll send you a clip next time about him. He was a fucking workaholic, but he also knew. He played almost every instrument on all his albums.
Yeah.
He was that guy was a Mozart, basically. Yeah. So I would say Prince.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Technically, that's probably before my time, but I'll also. What was your first concert and who did you go with? You already answered that.
I already answered that one.
Yeah. to speculate on the question, any extra memories of that evening that we didn't discuss yet?
Yeah, but I'm not going to say that on camera.
Okay.
I had a certain crush on a certain kind of person.
Oh, did you?
Duh.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough. Didn't they all? What record? What record have you turned on? Oh, record question.
Oh.
One of the two. So if you have a second one, you win a free record. What record have you turned on or rebought the most in your entire life?
Turn on the most, as in vinyl or just record that I'm listening to?
Whatever strikes you first.
El Salvador from Seth on repeat, or Willem nood on repeat. It's so insane how much I listen to these albums. I can memorize everything. Do you know when you listen to a song and you don't have it on shuffle, but just the way it goes?
Yeah.
And I just know already the next song and the next song and the next song. And I've listened to that. It was during COVID with Seth.
Yeah.
And then I remember that my friend Alla and we bought tickets for a show that you could watch at home. It was a live stream.
Yeah.
And Seth played in Paradiso. And it was with a whole orchestra. But it's a hip-hop album.
Oh, wow.
And we bought the tickets.
Seth from Opposites, or is he from Opposites?
No, Willem is from Opposites.
Oh, yeah,
But
sure.
then Seth is from De Leva.
Ah, yeah.
And you go to The Live is Love. And El Salvador came out, and he did that with a whole orchestra. And we bought tickets, and we were sitting on the couch together, and like we could live stream it. We were crying, and it was like so fucking cool because we were watching it on TV. Everybody was missing concerts and going out or doing anything. Oh,
this COVID, yeah.
Yeah, so we were sitting on my couch, like watching it, like on a live stream, and I also have a tattoo of it on my leg, Niks Missa.
Yeah.
I know that album from scratch, like everything. I know everything, so I think I can really memorize that. And like I said, which is actually pretty funny because I listen to metal or rock a lot, but Dutch hip hop, some artists, they're such a big influence on me. So also with Willem nood, it's an album about his depression, and it gave me so much support when I was in my depression. So yeah, those albums, I know everything. Yeah.
Cool. I put in reference links under every clip, so remind me to put those two albums in there.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's mine some diamonds here.
Yeah.
Cool. Which record should have everyone have heard at least once?
Ooh. I think it's called Morning View from Incubus. That's a very good album. Self-titled album by Blink-182. Which is maybe the best album ever, but
don't you fucking know it.
Yeah. And I also think that maybe Plus 44 is also underrated.
When your heart stops beating.
Yeah, like I think they're underrated. I think a lot of people also don't listen to that, or Boxcar Racer, or it's way underrated. And like some people, they're like, okay, but Blink-182 is like only What's My Age Again. I'm like, you don't know half of everything, and if you would like that, you would love this. But yeah, I think that, yeah, I would pick that.
With Blink, I always feel like, okay, so this is what a Christian person feels like. So I feel the need to convert you, but I know I have to.
But yeah, I would say the self-titled album is in my opinion, their best album. Then I think, yeah, maybe I would say that one.
Okay, I could.
Not to kiss your ass, but yeah.
Why kiss my ass?
Well, because you're the biggest Blink-182 fan ever, so I'm not just saying it because I'm in your podcast, but
because you're truly.
Because I honestly think that's a really good album.
Okay, yeah. I didn't feel kissed ass on this point, but it's good that you pointed out. Which documentary has made the biggest impression on you?
Well, I thought, but this is so corny to say, but because it doesn't have to be about music, right? It could be anything.
Whatever.
So the whole Jeffrey Dahmer thing with the monster series that they made was really insane. And I once watched. Yeah, I love serial killer docus.
That we all have.
There was this documentary about Ed Gein, which I really loved, and I cannot say it because he was a crazy serial killer.
He was fucked up, yeah.
He was fucked up. There's gonna be a new series about him on Netflix now, so they're making it.
Really?
Yeah, with Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy.
Really?
He's gonna play Ed Gein.
Wow.
Yeah, he's gonna play Ed Gein. So, I thought that was also very crazy, but yeah, I think, serial documentaries like about the killers, I like that. Yeah.
I agree. It's interesting, especially with Ed Gein. Like, I think he's a great example of what happens if a kid grows up on the farm side and doesn't interact with anybody except for his abusive mom.
Yeah.
Like, if you know what Ed Gein did, this is what can happen.
But also, I can't remember what it was called again, but there was this, this documentary series on Netflix as well, also about serial killers, and they also interviewed Ed Kemper. Like, he doesn't, well, he still lives, but he wasn't playing that role. There was an actor that played his role.
Yeah.
But Ed Kemper was also like kook.
Mindhunter, you mean?
Right? Mindhunter, thank you. Yeah, it was Mindhunter.
They invite all the big criminals.
Right, I loved that one as well. That was super cool. Yeah.
I loved because I was a huge, not fan, but I was into the Charlie Manson case for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And the guy who played him,
he did like.
It was insane.
It was crazy, yeah. But also with Ed Kemper, because I've seen also interviews with him.
Yeah.
He's so calm, and he just talks like this. And he helped actually a lot of agents, like talking about cases like this, because he would tell them everything.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I'm gonna kill somebody, I'm gonna put them there, I'm gonna bury them there, blah blah. You know, like he's telling them everything, and he doesn't care about sharing the information. It's actually pretty crazy. He has like a super huge IQ as well. Like, he's very smart.
Yeah, most of them turn out to be. Yeah. But it goes to show that they always cancel the best series, because that one also got canceled. With Charlie Manson, I thought what they did spot on, because the first 5, and I never had that. The first 5 seconds, I thought, oh no, he's not gonna do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a Charlie Manson thing that while the conversation was getting further into it, I thought to myself, oh my god, it's this totally Charlie. Because if you see him for the first time, you think he's just this weird, wacky dude who's just an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie Manson has a way of, when he starts, in the beginning he acts goofy, and then suddenly he has your attention, and he makes you think about, and then in the end you're on his team. Yeah. Because he makes sense. Yeah. And in this scene in Mindhunter, in the beginning, they one of the two policemen starts to get mad at him, and at the end he actually screams at him, and then he totally has his mind, and he looks at him and he's like, we're all our own prisoners, we all do our own time. You should just watch it. It's so brilliant. And in the end you think to yourself, like, the police guys are the douchebags, and he is the intelligent one.
It's like a huge mind fuck, you know. The Mindhunter's no mind fuck, actually. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's the same thing with Eileen Burroughs as well. Yeah. She was also like, she was just talking to them and telling them, like, you're acting like I'm crazy. You guys are crazy, you know, and you're actually doubting yourself. Like, is she even crazy? You know, you don't even know it for real.
They throw out one-liners that throw the same Charlie Manson. At one point, they ask him, like, "Don't you hate it that you're in prison? No, don't you hate don't you hate it?" And then he asks, "What do you mean? Don't you hate it? Like that you can't go anywhere, and that you're in prison?" He's like, "In prison? You're the one you're the one who is in prison because you believe there is such a thing as a prison." Mm-hmm. And you sit there like, whoa, that's
crazy.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I like serial killers too. Can you share a response from someone to your work that made a lasting impression?
Uh, well, I mean, like I said before, like I've done some memorial tattoos that meant a lot to people that I made them cry in a good way.
Mhm.
Thank God. But yeah, and I did I know that if she will see this, she's gonna be like, but I tattooed my mom, and when I started tattooing, I tattooed her chest, and I did like a small flower, and now she wanted to expand it with more flowers with the letters of like all the kids, my father, her husband, and like from our family.
Your father and her husband.
And her husband.
Wow, that's
yeah.
cool.
So that was kind of like I think I was like, "Are you sure?" She was like, "Yeah, sure." And it was like, "Okay, but how is he feeling about it?" Because of course my father passed away, so I was like, "Okay, well, how is your new husband gonna feel about it?" She's like, "Well, I mean, he's fine with it," and he was like, also like, "Oh, turned out as such a beautiful tattoo," and then, like it makes me feel comfortable that they, yeah, are so happy with it because if I see my family being happy with something like that, for us, well, for me at least, it's more personal because then I'm doing something that's also from my perspective. But also, yeah, if I just tattoo people that have to deal with grieving or really are dealing with depression, and I can make their day feeling way better, that helps me a lot. So I think, especially those kind of things, because then people look in the mirror and they start crying. I'm like, is it so ugly? But then they're like, no, I'm just happy with it. And I'm like, okay, that was good. So no, usually stuff like that, but that also means a lot to me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like if I can do stuff like that, even if it's something somebody has to deal with, it means a lot to me as well, even though I don't know the person that passed away or whatever, so that
Particularly strikes me when you say that your mom was able to give your dad that space, even
Yeah.
although she moved on. That's beautiful. That's
Mm-hmm.
inspiring.
Shout out mama.
Shout out mama. Name a good unknown gem. Which artist is the most underrated and should have had more attention than they are getting now?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. I think Foster the People. That's
Yeah.
a band which I love so much. I've seen them live.
Pumped Up Kids.
Pumped Up
right?
Kicks, yeah. Houdini. Their music is so good,
Yeah.
and I think people really are sleeping on them. Like people don't know, like
Wake the fuck up.
Yeah, man. Like you don't know half how good like their music is. So yeah, I love their music.
They're smooth live, right?
I've been to their concert I think twice now, and it's so good. Like their energy is very good, and yeah, their music is amazing. So Foster the People, for sure.
I'll put them in the description too.
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, they're really amazing.
Good answer. Very good answer. Which music video has made the biggest impression on you?
The biggest ever is difficult for me, but I can say one that came out kind of recently, which is a way different kind of genre. Troye Sivan, One of Your Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you haven't probably seen the video. Okay, so Troye Sivan is a male artist, but he's gay, but he looks very feminine. I always have like such a crush on him.
Like androgyn or really feminine?
No. He just looks like a guy, but he could be a beautiful girl.
Androgyn.
Yeah, it kind of.
Yeah.
But in this video, so one of the girls is a song about that he used to date straight men, would sleep with them, and they would like end up saying like if they were done, let's say it like that, if they were down, they'd be like, but I'm not great, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I only fall for women, but they still had a good time.
Yeah.
And in this video, when it came out, he is dressed as a woman, so he's like in drag. Such a beautiful woman, and I'm like, and so he says like,
I think he showed me.
yeah, I could be like one of your girls. That's what he's saying,
Yeah.
and it's so beautiful. And I'm like, it also has to deal a lot with the way we're looking at the world right now, because who gives a flying fuck if you're a girl or a boy or
if you're hot, you're hot.
If you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah,
if I love you, I love you.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't understand why we still have to be like, and especially in this type of way, like why should you hide who you love? If you all of a sudden think, oh, you know, maybe I fall for females or males or whatever, who cares, you know? So that was I loved the message behind it, but also the video was, because he was a woman, all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is so.
I remember now, you literally texted me out of nowhere, and you literally, how hot is this person?
Yeah, but honestly, yeah, I mean, come on, smash. Smash.
I suddenly remember. Okay, cool. As a musician or artist, are you ever afraid that somebody would ever copy or imitate your work?
For me?
Yeah.
Somebody would imitate me?
Yeah.
That would never happen.
Why not? Why not?
No, I think...
Why? I seriously don't see why not.
The only thing I don't want people to touch is my Komt goed. That's the only thing, but besides that...
That would piss you off if somebody would do that.
Nah, not piss me off, because it's not my... how do you say that? I don't have a copyright on it, but Komt goed is so really my thing.
Can you explain it for the audience?
Okay, so my dad always used to tell me, komt goed, zo niet dan toch, so it'll be okay, if not it will still be okay. And that was something that I put on my tattoo flash, and then like I have it tattooed on the inside of my fingers as well. I would make a tattoo flash, and unfortunately I can't remember who was the first person that actually said like, oh, I want a komt goed. I just wrote it down. And I was like, oh, you really want that? Then okay, I can tattoo that for you. And then another person came, and another person came, and so it's like a saying. So it'll be okay, you know. We'll be fine. It'll be alright. And now it's kind of my signature thing. So it's not something that I invented, because that's just the saying that we have, komt goed. But it is very comforting for me to know that people come to me and ask me for komt goed, even though it's just lettering. Like any tattooer could do it, but for me it means a lot if people want to get it tattooed by me. So I think
already a lot of people came for this one so far, right?
I think I've done over maybe 100 of
really?
them already. Yeah. I wish I counted them all.
Yeah.
But I think over 100 people. And the funny thing is, if I'm hanging out with friends right now, and we're
everywhere.
We're sitting on a terrace somewhere, and I'm like, okay, komt goed, komt goed, komt goed. You don't have it, you cannot sit with us. You know, so you're not part of the gang, so you cannot sit with us.
I'm getting mine.
Yeah, you have to. You have to promise.
It would be. I promise it would be my honor. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be my honor to do it. But yeah.
Cool.
So I think no, but besides that, I mean, everybody's doing their own thing. I feel like you shouldn't be watching other people too much. Just do your own thing, and then we're all learning from each other. I mean,
we are.
So we're all kind of copying small bits of each other. So I don't think somebody would really copy me or something. No.
I beg to differ, but
okay.
Describe the live music scene that you grew up in. Was there enough opportunity for a music scene in your area? And if so, what did it look like?
Well, I got a bus too late for REFRENCE, but I remember going there once though. But yeah, you're old. No, oh, I mean, I think I just went to shows to Melkweg and Paradiso, and here I went to what used to be Nighttown. Wat?
Wat, yeah.
I went to Wat. Nee,
Nee?
Nee. En
Baruch?
Spijkenissen?
Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex?
You went to Tex-Mex?
I went there like only maybe 2 times or something. But Tex-Mex, Baruch, because I used to live across the street from Baruch, so sometimes I went there.
Oh yeah, you lived on Spinozaweg.
Yeah. So Baruch, and now it's just shows in Rotown, Bordry. That's it. But I didn't really have that same thing that you had with Tex-Mex. That was like really a thing. That wasn't with me with Tex-Mex.
But there was opportunity.
Well, I could have gone there, but yeah, when I moved to Spijkenisse, Tex-Mex wasn't really a thing anymore.
No, I mean more in general, like there was opportunity for you as a kid to go and see music, or was it meh?
Nah, I just went to shows, but like I said, like more Paradiso, Melkweg, like not really small venues that I went to, but I know that Baruch was nice for me to go, but yeah. No, I used to go to just the general places. No, nothing very small. No.
Okay. Cool. Last one. Anecdote.
What's that?
Anecdote, the one that we were saving.
Anecdote.
Do you have a nice anecdote or otherwise a story that's circulating in your scene?
Well, I think I don't really have a story. Maybe it's good to end with Komt goed. Zo niet dan toch?
Yeah.
So everything will be fine. If not, it will still be fine.
Okay. Cool story.
I think that's the end.
The moral of the evening.
Yep.
Okay. We have one more tradition. This is the part in the podcast where you are free to shout out or talk about anything or promote anything you want to.
Well, make sure to follow me on Instagram, 12 Seconds Tattoo. And thank you so much for having me as a guest.
Of course.
Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harvey.
Before we stop here, then I also would like to make a case of please check out Black and Gold Tattoo.
Yep.
My first choice would always be Melissa, but there's a lot of cool artists working here. There's something for everybody over here. Also, if you would like to talk with a socially awkward dude about mushrooms and music and whatever. Harvey has a dream at gmail.com. Handjes boven de dekens, Jezus kan het zien. So, I want to thank you very much. I've been looking forward to this very much.
I had so much fun. Thank you so much.
Me too.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So.
All right, let's grab a beer.
Let's grab a beer.
Okay, cool. Bye, guys.